Cheater! Shouted young Ethan at Ryan. I saw you peeking at some notes on your desk, he accused with full conviction. That's not true, Ryan defended himself. Ms. Pamela, the teacher, acted quickly, pulling Ryan aside before he could do anything else. She inspected his desk and chair, then suddenly stopped and looked at him. I'm very sorry, Ryan, but you're disqualified, said Mr. Leo, the contest judge, after seeing the contents of a paper. For cheating in this contest, he announced. What? Ryan gasped, stunned, but an unexpected visitor arrived. Stepping out of a private jet, an elderly woman approached. The teachers recognized her as one of the school's founders, Mrs. Beatrice. Good morning, Mrs. Beatrice, the principal, Mr. Johnson, greeted with a wide smile. What's good about the morning? Where's the boy named Ryan? He's my grandson, and from now on, he owns this school. Students who scored 19 out of 20, please sit down, said Mr. Kevin, Ryan's teacher. Only Ethan and Ryan remained standing, but at Mr. Kevin's signal, Ethan sat, leaving Ryan standing alone. Everyone was amazed because for the first time, someone had beaten the boastful Ethan at spelling. Wow, congratulations, Ryan! You got a perfect score! Let's give him a big... No, that's impossible! Ethan shouted, standing and kicking his chair backward, causing it to fall with a loud crash. Ethan! Mr. Kevin scolded. What kind of behavior is that? It's impossible for that Ryan to beat me. He's dumber than a rat. His crippled sister is a garbage collector. Where would an idiot like him get any brains? Ethan taunted. Mr. Kevin's eyes widened. Ethan, that's enough! Ethan kicked his chair again, cutting off Mr. Kevin's reprimand. I won't accept this. We're retaking the test. He glared at Ryan. You, kid, who's the teacher here? How dare you talk like that? Mr. Kevin, panting, marched toward Ethan. Ryan stepped in front of him, stopping him. Mr. Kevin, please don't scold Ethan anymore. I'll just take another test. Maybe I just got lucky with my score earlier, Ryan said, trying to calm the situation. Mr. Kevin rubbed his forehead and sighed. Fine. Both of you, Ryan and Ethan, come to the front. Grab a chair. I'll give you new spelling words. Ethan smirked, while Ryan quietly pulled a chair and went to the front. Hey you, Nate, pick up my chair and bring it to the front, Ethan ordered his classmate nearby. Mr. Kevin's ears burned at this, and he shot Ethan a stern look. I said you and Ryan bring your chairs to the front, he said, in a chilling tone. See, I told you guys, I'm the best in this class. Me and no one else, Ethan boasted. I got 30 out of 50, and those were new spelling words. Meanwhile, that guy over there only got 25. His luck must have run out. Good for him, he added. They were in the school cafeteria during lunch, having just finished Mr. Kevin's class. Ethan was still gloating about the second spelling test, where he outscored Ryan by 5 points. At another table, Ryan, Nate, and Mia sat, clearly hearing Ethan's bragging. Hold me back, or I'll punch that arrogant Ethan, Mia whispered, clenching her fists. Ryan and Nate just laughed. What are you guys talking about? And you, Ryan, he's already belittling you, and you're laughing. What, are you just going to let him do that? Won't you defend yourself? Mia said, fuming. Mia, Ryan's not the type to stoop to his level, Nate said. We all know he let Ethan win and deliberately misspelled those words earlier. You noticed that, huh? Ryan said, scratching his neck. I just don't want trouble. Besides, it's just a score. Let Ethan have it, he added. It was dismissal time, and Ryan and his friends were cleaning the classroom, as they were the assigned cleaners that day. Ethan was still there, his arrogance unrelenting. Hey, Ryan, do you know who's the best at spelling in the whole class and the whole school? Ethan asked while Ryan wiped the whiteboard. Ryan didn't respond. Are you deaf? I'm talking to you, so answer. Ethan barked. Ryan turned, expressionless. Who? Obviously me, Ethan said, leaning close to Ryan's face. So don't act like a big shot, okay? Know your place. And remember, someone like you can't beat me. A poor kid, a garbage collector's brother. Ethan spat, his words like venom. Ryan was irritated, as Ethan's taunts were like a broken record, constantly belittling him. But he didn't engage. Besides reserving his energy to help his sister Rachel collect recyclables, Ryan wasn't raised to respond to pointless provocations. Hey, sis, Ryan greeted Rachel, his sister. You're here already? Just a sec, she said, climbing down from a chair using her hands and arms. Rachel, Ryan's sister, became paralyzed at age 5. At first, she often fell, which her parents thought was normal for a child her age. But one night, she had a dangerously high fever that caused seizures. She recovered after a hospital visit, but her legs were affected, and gradually, she could no longer walk. How's school? Rachel asked, settling into her old wheelchair. It's fine, sis, Ryan replied. Really? Why does your answer sound so half-hearted? Ryan gave a small smile. Well, I only got 25 on the spelling test today, he said, fidgeting with his nails and looking down. So what if you got 25 out of 50? Is that the end of the world? Rachel crossed her arms. But I knew those spelling words. We studied them, but... Rachel seemed to understand why Ryan scored so low. But you missed those answers on purpose for that arrogant Ethan, didn't you? Ryan nodded, looking even lower. Rachel wheeled closer and held his hand, stopping him from playing with his nails. Why is my little brother so kind? Ryan recounted what happened. Rachel felt a mix of joy and frustration. Joy because Ryan was growing up kind and non-confrontational, and frustration because his kindness was being taken advantage of. Sorry, sis, I just don't like trouble. I tried, but it feels pointless to engage him. Is that right? Mm-hmm, Rachel said softly. Oh, Ryan, you're too much, she said, pinching his cheek, making him look up. Forget that Ethan kid. His arrogance will fade eventually. What matters is we know the truth, that he's all talk. But sometimes, give him a little nudge to put him in his place, she said with a grin. Ryan's mood lightened, and he chuckled at her last comment. Sis, that's bad, he said. What? It's fine. What are those muscles for if you don't use them? Rachel teased, and the siblings laughed. All right, enough. Did you grab our cart? Ryan nodded, smiling. Let's go then. Let's collect as much as we can, Rachel said. Ryan wasn't ashamed to pick up his sister at the local market after school to help her collect recyclables. To him, there was nothing to be embarrassed about in their honest work, unlike the insults Ethan constantly threw at him. In contrast, Ethan's family was one of the school's major donors. Ethan was naturally gifted, but Ryan outshone him. Since Ryan joined the school, Ethan had been relegated to second place. To reclaim his throne, Ethan protested to the teachers whenever Ryan earned high marks, like he did in Mr. Kevin's class. What? Mr. Kevin did that to you? Said Patricia, Ethan's mother. Yes, Mom. He humiliated me in front of the whole class, but in the end, I proved I'm still the best at spelling. I got 30 out of 50 in our second test, while Ryan only got 25, Ethan bragged. And Ryan's score? Patricia asked, raising an eyebrow. 5 points ahead? That's not enough to say you're better than that Ryan kid. You need to study more. But Mum, it's Friday, and it was just a pre-test. No buts. I'm scheduling a tutor for tomorrow and Sunday, Patricia insisted. Monday morning arrived, and everyone on the streets was rushing. Cars honked, and students ran through the school hallways, late for the flag ceremony. Ryan was among them. I'm in trouble, he muttered, sprinting. As he crossed the street, he saw an elderly woman carrying a heavy bag, walking slowly. While crossing, She was bumped by Ethan, who was also running. Ethan stopped. "What's wrong with you?" he snapped. Ryan was almost at the other side when he heard the commotion. Turning, he saw the woman on the ground, with Ethan yelling at her. "Why are you even crossing the street? You're so slow. You're just a nuisance," Ethan shouted. "I'm sorry," the woman said, struggling to stand alone. Ethan stood there, and no passers-by seemed to care. The woman had a bleeding scratch on her arm from hitting the concrete. "If I'm late because of you, you're in trouble," Ethan threatened, turning away. Ryan turned to run toward the school gate, but the image of the struggling woman lingered in his mind. "Oh, whatever, even if I get scolded," he said, turning back to help her. "Ma'am," he called, assisting her to stand. He helped her cross and sat her at a bus stop. Thinking he'd left, the woman was surprised when Ryan returned with a bandage and antiseptic. "Sorry it took a while, Mom. This might sting, but bear with it to prevent infection," he said. "Thank you, dear," the woman said, smiling and patting his head. The school bell rang, signaling the start of the flag ceremony, and the gate would soon close. "Oh no," Ryan whispered, finishing the bandage. "Go, dear, run! You might still make it," the woman urged. Ryan finished, then sprinted to school. "Mrs. Beatrice, I'm deeply worried about you." "Why do you keep doing this?" said Terry, her aide. "Terry, let me be. It's just a small scratch, far from fatal," the woman replied. "But enough. Did you see the boy who helped me?" she asked, cutting Terry off. Terry nodded. "I want you to find out everything about him. Name, age, parents, everything," Mrs. Beatrice ordered. "Yes, Mrs. Beatrice." Ryan got lucky that day. The gate was closing, but the guard let him in, having seen him help the woman. He made it to the flag ceremony, sweaty from running. "We thought you wouldn't make it," Nate said, spotting his friend squeezing into the line. "I thought so too," Ryan said, wiping sweat with his arm. The flag ceremony began. Afterward, the principal stepped forward with an announcement. "This coming month, we'll celebrate our English week. Are you all ready for the contests and events?" he said. The younger students shouted, "Yes," in unison, while the elementary kids were quieter and the high schoolers stayed silent. "Like last year, all winners will receive cash prizes and represent our school in this year's inter-school competition. Isn't that exciting?" he said enthusiastically. The younger kids cheered, "Yay!" despite barely understanding. The older students buzzed with comments. Ethan was among the noisiest. "They're already celebrating. They shouldn't even bother with these contests. I'll be the champion in everything, like always," he boasted. "Look at that. The storm's right here in our school. I thought it was out in California," Mia quipped. "The wind's so strong here. Feel it." Ethan overheard and fumed. "Are you talking about me, Mia?" he snapped. Mia glanced around. "Who, me?" she said slyly. "Yes, you." Ethan lunged toward her, but Ryan and Nate stepped in. "Touch our friend, and you'll regret it," Ryan warned. "Really? You're defending a girl? What are you, weak?" Nate retorted, embarrassing Ethan. The flag ceremony ended, along with the principal's announcements. Everyone dispersed. Ryan, Nate, and Mia returned to their classroom together. "Hey, thanks for backing me up earlier," Mia said. "I thought you guys, especially Ryan, wouldn't stand up to him." "It's nothing," Ryan said. "There's a right time to deal with guys like Ethan. Just don't provoke him like that again, okay? You know the guidance office always sides with him, not us." "Yeah, we'd get in trouble," Nate added. "You're lucky we've got your back because we're your friends." All right, thanks, you two," Mia said. Suddenly, Mr. Kevin appeared. "You three, follow me, now," he ordered, turning to walk away. The trio exchanged glances. "We're dead," they said in unison. I called you here to tell you that you three will represent our class in the upcoming English Week competitions. Mia, you're in the essay contest. Nate, you're doing the poster. And Ryan, you're in the spelling bee, Mr. Kevin announced. Joy lit up Mia and Nate's faces, but Ryan looked uneasy. Mr. Kevin, I think you got the wrong student for the spelling bee. I'm not good at spelling. Ethan should be the one, not me, Ryan said. Mr. Kevin sighed. Let me explain. Each event will have 2 representatives. One I choose, and one based on a test I'll give this afternoon. Ethan has no choice because I picked you for the spelling bee. That's my decision, and he can't change it. And we both know you intentionally missed answers when Ethan threw a fit, right? Mia and Nate exchanged looks, while Ryan lowered his head. How'd you know, Mr. Kevin? Nate asked. Mr. Kevin smiled and ruffled Ryan's hair. I saw Ryan's hand struggling to write the wrong spellings. His hand knew they were wrong, he said. Sorry, Mr. Kevin, Ryan said. I understand, Ryan. You don't want trouble. You're lucky I see your talent, not just in spelling, but in many things. Don't waste it just to appease a kid who belittles you, Mr. Kevin advised. As expected, Mr. Kevin held a test for all his students, and Ethan started bragging again. With his feet propped on his desk and hands behind his head, he declared he'd compete in every event for English Week. So don't bother reviewing. It's funny how nervous you all look when you already know how this test will end, he said, laughing. That jerk's so full of himself. His nose is practically in the clouds, Mia muttered, seething. Chill, Mia. We know where we stand in English Week, so relax, Nate said. He's so full of hot air, even his brain's probably floating from all that arrogance. Right, Ryan? He nudged Ryan, who seemed distracted. Huh? Oh, yeah, Ryan said. Why do you look so nervous? Something up? Nate asked. I'm worried if Ethan finds out we're already chosen, he'll throw another tantrum and accuse me of something. I'm scared I might lose it and fight back, Ryan admitted. Nate put an arm around him. Don't worry, buddy. If that happens, we've got you. Right, Mia? Absolutely, Mia agreed. The test ended, and Mr. Kevin confirmed his representatives. The 3 friends scored highest in their categories, as he'd predicted. Ethan couldn't accept that others matched or surpassed him. He thought he'd dominate every category alone. Mom, I just need to pick one event. They said no multiple entries, but I want to join everything, Ethan complained to his mother. What? Who said you can't join all the contests you want? Tell me, Patricia said, fuming. Mr. Kevin, Mom, and that poor kid Ryan's in the spelling bee. He shouldn't even be there. I don't know how he got a high score, Ethan grumbled. Fueled by anger, Patricia stormed to the school the next morning. Before the principal could even open his office, she confronted him with her complaints. You know I donated tons of chairs, paint, whiteboards, and supplies to this school, Patricia said. Yes, Mrs. Patricia, we're very grateful for your donations, the principal replied. Then you can quickly find a way to disqualify Ryan from the competition and let my son join all the English Week events. It's not too much to let my son compete, right? He's brought so many awards to this school, she said, her tone accusatory. I'll see what I can do, Mrs. Patricia, but I can't promise anything. No, she shouted, stomping her foot like a child. The principal flinched at her outburst, which she quickly retracted. Sorry, I got carried away, but if you don't do what I say, I can do worse, she threatened. Mr. Kevin, I told you, we have to please Mrs. Patricia. Her donations are huge for this school. It's just one student we're favoring. Why can't you make it happen? The principal said. With all due respect, Ma'am, we'd be removing a talented student from the competition to favor a spoiled brat. That's unfair to Ryan, and we agreed in our meeting to limit multiple entries to give other students a chance. Ethan's still in the spelling bee. Isn't that enough? Mr. Kevin argued. I don't care. Do what I say. Remove Ryan from the spelling bee and let Ethan compete in everything. Mr. Kevin clenched his jaw. Fine, I'll let that spoiled kid compete in all categories. I'll let him burn out. But as the event coordinator, I won't remove Ryan. I won't sacrifice a talented kid's potential just to appease a parent who only brags about her son, he said, raising his voice. He knew his job was at risk, but it was the only way to showcase Ryan's talent, overshadowed by Ethan. Mr. Kevin, do you realize what you're risking? The principal said sternly. Yes, I know, he replied. Patricia's demands weren't met. She was livid when she learned Ryan was still in the spelling bee. Mum, why is Ryan still in? You said you'd get him removed, Ethan whined. That cheating Ryan will pay. I won't let anyone outshine my son, Patricia vowed. While Patricia and Ethan wasted time trying to oust Ryan, Ryan and Rachel were filled with joy. Since learning Ryan was in the spelling bee, Rachel found ways to help him prepare. While collecting recyclables, they quizzed each other on words that might appear from simple ones to complex scientific terms. Sis, where do you get these words? Ryan asked. Our little secret, okay? I used to compete in spelling bees too. I even made it to regionals, Rachel said. Rachel was a brilliant student, always earning medals at graduation and competing in various contests. But poverty and her disability made it impossible for her parents to support her education. They passed away early, and she had to raise Ryan, finishing only high school. Yet she never stopped learning, reading, and listening to news to expand her knowledge. As she shared her experiences, Ryan's eyes sparkled with admiration. Sis, if I win the competition and get the prize, I'll buy you a new wheelchair. I'll do my best in every event, make it to regionals and save up to get you a sturdy, nice one, Ryan promised earnestly. Rachel teared up. Oh, Ryan, she said, wiping her eyes. That prize money is for you, for your studies. I'm fine. My wheelchair's okay, and I don't want you to feel pressured. Just enjoy competing, okay? And if you don't win, don't stop. Losing is part of life. You won't achieve true success without it, she advised. Ryan took her words to heart, doubling his practice with his friends while enjoying what they learned. Ethan, also practicing, did nothing but brag, claiming his natural talent made preparation unnecessary. He saw Ryan as a threat, so he and his mother tried to bribe Mr. Kevin, but like his stand with the principal, they failed. Mrs. Patricia, I'm not being rude, but aren't you ashamed of what you're teaching Ethan? Taking advantage of others? Mr. Kevin asked. Patricia raised an eyebrow, her blood boiling. Who are you to lecture me? You're just a lowly teacher. We pay the tuition that funds your salary, or have you forgotten? She snapped. Mr. Kevin smirked. Is that so? Then you've given me more reason to refuse your request, he replied. One Sunday morning, a loud knock shook Ryan and Rachel's small apartment. Coming, Rachel called, dragging herself across the floor to reach the door. She pulled a stool to reach the knob. Opening it, she saw a woman holding a fan, dressed in church clothes with a small hat, as if she'd come straight from service. Who are you? Rachel asked. The woman looked her up and down, raising an eyebrow at her seated position, puzzled why she needed to sit just to open the door. Are you Ryan's sister? She asked brusquely. Yes. Why? I'm Patricia, Ethan's mother. Your brother's been bullying my son, she declared. Bullying how? And what's your issue with my brother? As they spoke, Ryan overheard their raised voices and got up from his bed. Sis, who's that? He asked, rubbing his eyes. His sister didn't answer, as if she hadn't heard, but when he reached the door, he saw Ethan's mother. Oh, perfect timing, Ryan, Patricia said. Listen to my offer for both of you. Rachel grabbed Ryan's arm and pulled him close. "Ryan, don't listen to this woman," she whispered. Patricia smirked, ignoring Rachel. "Ryan, everyone at school knows your family's situation. You're barely scraping by. You need money, quick money, so your sister doesn't have to work 2 jobs or collect trash. Imagine just holding out your hand and getting cash," Patricia said, tempting him. Ryan looked confused. "Okay, I'll be direct. This is double the prize money you'd get from regionals and 4 times what you'd win in your school's spelling bee. I can make it more if you want," she said, pulling out an envelope. She saw Ryan's eyes widen, knowing he was tempted. Meanwhile, at Mrs. Beatrice's mansion, she was on the phone with her grandson Owen's nurse. After catching up, she had the camera turned to Owen's face. He stared blankly, his eyes lifeless, showing no reaction. "Owen, dear, how are you? Grandma's coming home soon. I'm just finishing something here. Then I'll be back," she said. Like the past 8 years, he remained silent, staring. Beatrice's heart broke, but she couldn't stop her tears. "Owen, I have news. I met a boy named Ryan, like our Roniel. I'm staying longer because I hope he might be your brother. Maybe we'll find him," she said. "Hey, Ryan!" Ethan called out. It was after school, and Ryan was headed to the library to borrow books to improve his vocabulary. Ryan turned. "Why are you still reviewing? Why show off? Didn't you take my mom's money?" Ethan taunted. "I don't know what you're talking about," Ryan said, turning away. "Fine, because I'm nice. I won't tell Mom you're still reviewing. But on competition day, you better lose to make my win exciting. I'm the one the school will send to the inter-school contest anyway," Ethan boasted. "Ethan, I'm keeping the peace. I don't want trouble," Ryan said. "You're just a coward with no backbone. You only act tough with your friends around, playing the victim," Ethan sneered. Ryan's ears burned, but he chose to stay silent, walking to the library. Ethan left. Unbeknownst to them, Mr. Kevin was nearby. Once Ethan was gone, he followed Ryan. "Ryan," he called. Ryan turned, paling as if he'd seen a ghost. "Let's skip the review for now. I saw your favorite fish stick stand outside. My treat. Come on," Mr. Kevin said. "Okay, Mr. Kevin," Ryan replied. At the stand, Mr. Kevin chatted with Ryan until his earlier fear faded. As they ate, they sat aside to talk. I heard what Ethan said to you," Mr. Kevin said, eating a fish stick. Ryan froze, holding his skewer. He didn't respond, fidgeting with the stick, while thinking of an answer. "Ryan, in life, taking advantage of others feels good at first. They think they've won, that everyone's beneath them, but victories in school, inter-school contests, or anywhere don't carry over to real life, especially when you're working. Know what you carry forever?" Mr. Kevin asked. "What, Mr. Kevin?" "A pure heart, an honest conscience, and above all, integrity and fairness. Medals tarnish, money runs out, but a clean conscience? That's priceless," he said, eating another fish stick. Ryan thought about his teacher's words all the way to meeting his sister. He was quiet, deep in thought. While pushing their cart, he sighed repeatedly. Rachel noticed but let it slide at first. Unable to ignore it, she finally asked, "You're thinking hard. What's up?" "Nothing, sis, just thinking." "Is it about Ethan's mum's offer? What's her name again? Mrs. Patricia?" Ryan sighed. "Yeah, sis. Ethan bragged about it to me. His words hurt. If I take the money, it's like they think so low of us. But if I don't, it's a waste. That money could buy you a new wheelchair. We wouldn't have to wait or struggle anymore." "I'm confused, sis, about what to do. My dignity or being practical," Ryan said, distressed. When Patricia made her offer, Rachel immediately refused. But Ryan was swayed by the large sum. Patricia saw his hesitation and gave him a week to decide. She manipulated him, using his innocence and dazzling him with money to get her way. Though he hadn't decided, She and Ethan were confident he'd take it. Ryan, you're too young to make these decisions. That kind of money is tempting, especially given our situation. But know what's more valuable than money. Ryan didn't answer, but looked at Rachel, waiting. Integrity and a clear conscience. One day you'll understand. For now, weigh what matters more, a clean conscience or money you didn't earn. Whatever you choose, I won't stop you. I just don't want you to get hurt or go down a bad path, Rachel said, tearing up. A week later, Patricia returned. Ryan made a decision that shattered her and Ethan's world. I won't take the money, sorry, but I'd rather work hard for the money to buy my sister's wheelchair. I'll face your cheating every day. I'll compete fairly. If I lose, that's life. What matters is my conscience is clean, he said. Patricia's face reddened. She wanted to lash out, to insult them, but Ryan's words struck her. She couldn't accept his choice. She thought she'd manipulated him, but the opposite happened. You'll both regret this, you'll see, she threatened. Competition day arrived, and everything was set. Ethan, competing in multiple events, hadn't prepared for any. His focus scattered. He failed in every contest, deeply disappointing him. Mum, why did I get such low scores in the poster and essay? He said, dismayed. They faced Mr. Kevin, busy guiding students for the next event. Mr. Kevin, this is your fault. You play favorites and didn't focus on my son during training, Patricia accused. Mr. Kevin was stunned, then laughed. Mrs. Patricia, your son wasn't focused. He always said he could handle everything and knew it all. But fine, I'll take the blame to end this, he said. Patricia didn't argue further, turning to her teary son, unable to accept his loss. Don't worry, sweetie, Mama will handle this. You'll win the spelling bee and beat that Ryan, she promised. All spelling bee contestants were called, and the competition began. Ryan's points soared, from the easiest to the hardest words, with no mistakes. The crowd cheered, certain of his victory, when suddenly, Cheater! Ethan shouted at Ryan. I saw you looking at notes on your desk, he accused confidently. The crowd gasped, whispering. Judges raised eyebrows, eyes on Ryan. That's not true, Ryan defended. Ladies and gentlemen, with the committee and judges, we'll address this, said Mr. Leo, the spelling master, glancing at his assistant, Ms. Pamela. The announcement shifted attention from Ryan. Ms. Pamela acted, pulling Ryan aside before he could react. She checked his desk and chair, then stopped, looking at him with apologetic eyes. Pamela, Mr. Leo said, standing beside her in the tense atmosphere. What did you find? A crumpled paper, sir, she said, handing it to him. Mr. Leo unfolded it, his eyes widening. I'm very sorry, Ryan, but you're disqualified, he said, reading the paper. For cheating in this contest, he announced. What? Ryan exclaimed, stunned. Ryan's world collapsed. He couldn't finish his defense. He found himself being led away by Mr. Kevin, disappointment etched on his face. He couldn't look at the poor boy. Ryan had no face to show the school after that day. He stopped attending classes. At home, he locked himself in his room, refusing to get up except to drop off or pick up Rachel at the market. He'd eat one bite, lose his appetite, and return to his room, staring at the ceiling all day. Silent, lifeless, Ryan was consumed by sadness. His friends visited daily, but he wouldn't come out or speak. Rachel was deeply worried, unsure who to blame, herself for prioritizing her principles, or Ethan for his greed. Ryan, there's food on the table. Eat, okay? I'm just stepping out to buy something. I'll be quick, Rachel said. Okay, sis, Ryan replied, falling silent. Instead of the store, Rachel wheeled her nearly broken wheelchair to Ryan's school under the scorching sun. Her hands burned pushing the wheels, but she pressed on. Oh, Rachel, how are you? Greeted the school guard, who remembered her as a former student. I'm fine, sir. I just need to talk to the principal about Ryan, she said. All right, my colleague's there. I'll take you, he offered. As he pushed her wheelchair, students stared and whispered. Rachel couldn't understand why people reacted this way to someone with a disability. The guard sensed the judgmental eyes. Ignore them. Kids these days are hard to figure out. Ryan and his friends are good kids, though, he said. They reached the principal's office. The guard went in, telling the principal someone wanted to speak with him. Rachel, what brings you here? The principal asked. I want to discuss my brother's situation. I don't think he was judged fairly. There was no proper investigation. Why? Rachel pleaded. The principal smirked. Are you saying we weren't fair? Not exactly, but I know my brother wouldn't do that. You know he's a good kid, but Ethan's done so much wrong, and you do nothing. So you're accusing us now? You have no proof Ethan did it, but we have evidence against your brother. Everyone saw it. Accept that he cheated. Don't pin your problems on others. Is it because they're rich? Because they donate a lot? Is that why you side with them? Rachel challenged. I'm an alumna here too. I brought this school many honors. Please be fair. Is it right to humiliate my brother like that? Enough. What honors? The old administration probably pitied you, letting you compete to gain sympathy for a disabled student. You were just propaganda to make them look good, the principal said. Rachel didn't know how to feel. She knew his words weren't true, as he wasn't there when she was a student. I can't believe someone like you runs this once great school. I'm not surprised if one day every graduate here becomes unfair and ignorant, she said, resolute. I'm paralyzed. I can't walk. We're poor, barely getting by, but we've never hurt or belittled anyone. Intelligence comes from the mind, not the legs. The principal and guard were stunned. Rachel held her ground, but the principal dismissed her. A private jet landed, and an elderly woman stepped out, recognized by teachers as a school founder. She headed to the principal's office with Terry. Near the receiving area, she overheard a heated exchange between a woman and the principal, like a radio drama from her youth. The woman's sharp words defended her cause fiercely. When the argument ended, the woman emerged, and Beatrice was shocked to see she was disabled. I like that girl, Terry. Get her name, she told him. Beatrice didn't announce her visit, so the principal was startled when she entered. Mrs. Beatrice, good morning, he said, smiling as if nothing had happened, but she wasn't fooled. What's good about the morning? She snapped. Where's the boy named Ryan? He's my grandson, and from now on, he owns this school. Tell me where he is. He hasn't come to school since he was disqualified, the principal explained. We'll visit him this week to check on him. Really? If I hadn't come looking, I doubt you'd have bothered. And since you mentioned the contest, next year, Ethan won't be accepted here. This is his last year. I know what his mother did to my grandson, bribing the spelling master and assistant to frame him. I won't let this school become a circus, Beatrice said. The principal was speechless, stunned by her revelations. I know you've been involved from the start. If you want to keep your job, fix your principles. You're respected, but you're swayed by bribes and money. I don't need teachers like that here, she warned. The principal shrank under her words. I'll fix this mess, I promise. Good. Make sure you teach everyone involved a lesson, especially Ethan, Beatrice said. As the guard pushed Rachel's wheelchair, she couldn't stop crying. I know you're not okay, but leave it to God. He sees your sacrifices and how you fought for your brother. Life's like a wheel. It turns, and one day you'll be on top and they'll be below, the guard advised. Thank you. I just don't want my brother to suffer for something he didn't do. I promise, if I get one chance to change his life, I'll do anything, even sacrifice myself. Days later, while resting by the roadside, an elderly woman approached with a man holding an umbrella. Hi, dear. the woman greeted. Hello, Rachel, said shyly, turning her wheelchair to face her. Confusion crossed her face, unsure of the woman's intent. You're Rachel, Ryan's sister, right? Yes, Mom. Who are you? I'm Ryan's grandmother, the boy you found on the street 8 years ago, the woman revealed. Rachel froze, unsure how she knew. 8 years ago, only she and the heavy rain knew she'd found 2-year-old Ryan crying in the street. Rachel, sheltering nearby, saw him and, despite her old wheelchair and slippery roads, braved the rain to get him to safety. They huddled, soaked under cover. Swallowing hard, she looked away, feigning ignorance. I think you're mistaken. Ryan's my brother. I don't know what you're talking about, she said. Rachel, I know everything. I had you both investigated. You were alone, with no parents when you found him. You reported a missing child, but since we're not from here, no one recognized him, so you took him in, right? The woman's eyes showed sincerity and longing to reconnect with her lost grandson. She wanted to take him back, make up for lost years, but couldn't ignore Rachel's love, treating him like a true brother. I don't know what you're saying, Rachel said, turning her wheelchair to leave. Please, we've been searching for him for years. Don't deny me the chance to see him. We want to make up for the years we missed, give him a good life with me and his brother. I know you're not selfish. You love Ryan, but please give us a chance to give him what he deserves, the woman pleaded. Rachel's grip tightened on her wheelchair, her emotions heavy. She didn't know the woman well, but felt her sincerity. Tears fell as questions flooded her mind. She didn't want to let Ryan go, lose his morning smiles, their laughter, and stories. But giving him up meant a better life for him, a life she could never provide. Yes, you're right. He's not my brother, her voice breaking, tears streaming. Can you prove you're his grandmother? Can you guarantee him a good life? Days passed, and Ryan stayed locked in his room. Rachel was heartbroken seeing him like this, powerless to fight those who wronged him. She made a painful decision to change his life, one that would break her heart but give him a better future. With Nico and Mia's help, they dragged Ryan out of his room. What? I said I don't want to go out, Ryan shouted as they pulled him. Sorry, your sister told us to do this, so you've got no choice, Mia said. They hauled him to the bathroom, doused him with a bucket of water to force him to shower, and dressed him. Once ready, they dragged him outside, where a cab waited. Where are we going? I was sleeping and you're bothering me, Ryan grumbled. Ryan, you've been sleeping for almost a month. You don't go to school or leave the house. What are you, a hermit, joining a monastery? Mia scolded. What if I am? What can you do? Ryan snapped. He fell silent, annoyed, and they stopped talking. Ryan felt people staring, laughing, recalling the painful accusations and judgmental eyes. His hands trembled, his breath short. He wanted to cry, hide, disappear. He was scared of people, of everything. Ryan, Rachel called. They'd arrived, and Ryan was still in the cab, unaware. Rachel approached. Sis, he said, snapping back. She smiled and held his hand. Ryan looked around, surprised to be at the park they used to visit when he was little. What are we doing here, sis? Don't you have work? Aren't you collecting recyclables later? Rachel shook her head. I took a break. Even I need a day off, she said, smiling. Sis, I don't think I can face people. My legs won't move and I can't breathe, Ryan said, distressed. Rachel held his hand. I know it's not easy, what you're going through. I don't blame you for being traumatized. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. But think about it. Everyone around us farts. Ryan looked puzzled, then chuckled. Yes, they fart, they stutter, they trip, and more. Seeing his confusion, Rachel seized the moment to help him overcome his shame. Ryan, People aren't strengthened without trials. God wouldn't give you something you can't handle. Everyone you see has problems, she said, pointing at passers-by. But they still smile, go out, live. Ryan didn't speak, but his heart lightened. As they say, don't stress over problems. Let problems stress over you. I know what you went through wasn't easy, and you're not at fault. I believe you didn't do it, not just me, but your friends too. Focus on those who believe in you. For those who judged you, show them you'll rise. Maybe not now, but one day, they'll see a different Ryan, she said. Ryan wasn't free from his past's darkness, but a small light appeared. His first step was to let go and be happy today with his friends and beloved sister. With Nico and Mia, the four had fun, trying every food stall. Ryan's favorites, from ice cream sandwiches to spicy hot dogs. The park had activities like kite flying. Go, fly it, Rachel cheered. Sis, why won't mine fly? Ryan's so good at it, Mia complained. Let me, Nico said, grabbing Mia's kite, running to launch it while Mia pulled the string. As they flew kites, Rachel checked on Ryan. You okay? Yes, sis. I feel better than I have in days. Sorry for being stubborn and drowning in sadness. It's okay. You needed to go through that. What matters is you're okay now, she said. We're like kites. No matter how far apart, there's a string connecting us. No matter how high you soar, I'm here, watching, cheering. No one can cut that string. Her voice trembled, tears held back, nose red, voice breaking. Ryan grew concerned. Why say that, sis? You're scaring me, like you're going far away. No, but you're growing up, and we don't know what'll happen. Just remember, I love you, and I'll do anything to give you a good life, to achieve your dreams, she said. Ryan was overjoyed that day, giving him strength to rise again. He didn't return to school, planning to next year. His wounds were too deep, and Rachel didn't object. He started leaving the house, meeting friends, becoming his old self. Ryan thought things would return to normal, just a moment of self-doubt. But he didn't know a huge change was coming, separating him from his sister. Sis, I'm here, Ryan said, entering their small apartment to find a guest, an elderly woman with a suitcase and belongings. She sat on the couch, as did Rachel in her wheelchair. Ryan, Rachel said, this is Mrs. Beatrice, your grandmother. Grandmother? Ryan frowned, confused, but still greeted her politely. He recognized her as the woman he'd helped on the street. Tears filled her eyes. Sis, we have family? I thought Mom and Dad were orphans. Are we moving? Going on vacation with Grandma? Rachel's tears fell, her breath catching, heart aching for what she'd say next. Just you, Ryan. Okay, but for how long? Until school starts? I told Nico and Mia I'd be back next year. You're not coming back, Ryan. You're going with your grandmother abroad, Rachel interrupted. Abroad? Why aren't you coming? I'm confused, Ryan said, panicking. Rachel gripped her wheelchair's armrests, channeling her pain and summoning courage to reveal her long-held secret. She's not my grandmother. We're not siblings. I found you on the street when you were 2, and now your real family's found you, she said, each word heavy with sorrow. Sis, you're joking, right? That's not true. You're my sister. I even look like Dad, don't I? Say it's not true, Ryan cried, shouting. Though pained by his reaction, Mrs. Beatrice felt a weight lift, knowing she'd soon reunite with her long-lost grandson. Ryan, dear, I'm your grandmother, she tried to say. You're not my grandmother, Ryan shouted. The three were shocked by his outburst, especially Rachel. Ryan, is that how you behave? She scolded, angry. Ryan lowered his head, knowing he was wrong but unable to accept the truth. His life felt like a lie. Of all people, why did his beloved sister betray him? Leave. You're a burden. I can't support you anymore, so I found your real family, Rachel said, turning away. That's not true, sis. I don't believe you. Their emotions ran high. Even Mrs. Beatrice cried, understanding why Rachel did this. You can take him. Do what you want, Rachel said, wheeling into her room. You're awful. After all I did, pushing your wheelchair, this is what you say? I'm not the only one struggling, but did I complain? No, because you're my sister. Why are you doing this? Ryan's resentment poured out, words uncontrollable. In her room, door closed, Rachel covered her mouth, barely breathing. She feared blurting out her true feelings, running back to stop Ryan's departure. You're the worst. I wish you hadn't found me, that you were never my sister, Ryan screamed, shattering her heart. Class dismissed, Mr. Kevin announced. Students rushed to the cafeteria for recess, leaving him to organize notebooks for the faculty. He felt someone enter. Did you forget something? Lock the classroom. I'm heading to the faculty, he said, without looking. Mr. Kevin, a voice said. A chill ran through him. He didn't recognize the voice but felt a strange familiarity. Looking up, he saw a confident young man at the door, his brow furrowed, recalling a student he hadn't seen in years. As the man approached, Mr. Kevin recognized him. Ryan, he exclaimed. After years, Ryan returned to his old school, where he'd grown up. The classroom had changed, and many teachers were new, but the guard and Mr. Kevin remained. Mr. Kevin was thrilled to see his former student, amazed at his transformation. Taller, poised, but still with a pure heart. They went to the cafeteria, where Mr. Kevin treated Ryan to a snack. After catching up, he asked why Ryan disappeared after the incident. Let's just say my eyes weren't open to the real world then. I wanted to come back, face them all, show I'd risen. But I realized I needed to fix myself first, not waste time on them, Ryan said, smiling. Mr. Kevin was impressed by Ryan's mature response, proud of the student he'd mentored. After their talk, Ryan left the school. A sleek car waited for him. He got in beside the driver. That was quick, said his brother, Owen. Didn't you visit your beloved principal? He teased, laughing. Oh, come on, Owen. That was 13 years ago. Let it go, Ryan said. You're too kind, Owen said, ruffling his hair. Where to next? Mia's bike shop, Nico's studio set, or home? The agent said we should check the subdivision this afternoon. Ryan smiled. That's perfect, because I plan to visit Essis. Rachel, he said. As they drove to Rachel's place, Ryan felt an odd nervousness, as did Owen. Over the years, Ryan's life had transformed with Mrs. Beatrice, going from rags to riches. At first, he was deeply hurt by Rachel, staying silent for days. Mrs. Beatrice was pained but patient. When they moved to America, she introduced Ryan to Owen, who, like Ryan, was silent, traumatized. Their first meeting sparked life in Owen's eyes. Ryan, he said, his first words in years. Hearing his brother, Ryan felt Rachel's presence, running to hug him. That embrace calmed him, erasing anger and resentment. Owen gradually recovered, and Ryan thrived in America. Few knew his whereabouts, only Nico, Mia, and Rachel, who always prioritized his well-being. Months after adjusting, Ryan asked Owen to take him to a park to fly kites. Go, fly it, Owen said as they launched kites. You're good at this. I thought I'd teach you. Who taught you? A small smile crossed Ryan's lips. He looked down to hide tears. Rachel, he thought, answering Owen's question. He looked up, letting Owen see his teary eyes. I miss her. I want to apologize for resenting her when she gave me to Grandma. I know she didn't mean those harsh words. She did it so I wouldn't struggle to choose and go with Grandma. She only thought of my well-being, Ryan said sadly. Owen put an arm around him. Don't waste the opportunity Rachel gave you. Show her her sacrifice was worth it. I don't know her, but I feel she's a good person, he said, smiling. Tell me about her, Owen urged, eager to hear about the sister Ryan missed. Ryan's longing eased when he talked about Rachel, her care, her temper, her lessons he carried into adulthood. He wanted to call her, check in, but shame and guilt over his harsh words held him back. He vowed to return after graduating, with a name of his own, to thank her for her love and apologize. The brothers were quiet in the car, Owen glancing at Ryan, who stared into space, like Owen before they met. When I was trapped in the past, staring blankly, I thought I'd never recover, Owen said, breaking the silence. Ryan looked at him. I felt trapped in a dimension where every day replayed our parents' accident. I was there with you, from waking up, their departure, our last breakfast, to the car smoking and crashing into a tree. Their blood, you thrown from the car. I wanted to chase you, but my legs were pinned. No one heard my screams until I passed out, and when I woke, it repeated. Owen recounted. Ryan felt for his brother, not the first time hearing this story, which taught him the world didn't revolve around him. He had to fight life's challenges. As Owen drove, he continued, but one time as I struggled to free my legs, I suddenly got out. I chased you in the rain, held you, calmed you. Then the scene changed. I was on my bed, facing a boy, you, Ryan. If you hadn't come, I'd still be trapped in that world. That won't happen again, Owen. I won't leave you or Grandma, Ryan said. I want to thank Rachel for everything she did for you. She raised you well, made you a good person. I owe her endless gratitude, because without her, you might have been in danger. They went to their old apartment, but Rachel no longer lived there. They got her new address from Nico and headed there. So this is where Sis lives now, Ryan said, standing before a small house with a yard, a driveway, and a bright atmosphere, far from their old cramped place. Seeing it, Ryan felt a weight lift, but nervousness lingered. Looks like your sister doesn't need you, Owen teased. No, she does. Believe me. Ryan nodded, and they got out. Ryan's hands were cold, his breath shaky with nerves. Approaching the door, he hesitated to ring the bell, swallowing hard. Fear and shame hit, and he stepped back, ready to return to the car. What are you doing? Owen scolded. I can't face her. I'm nervous, Ryan said, hands trembling. Why be nervous? A familiar voice said. Ryan's tears fell, hearing the voice he'd longed for. Owen froze, looking at the woman behind Ryan. Ryan, she called. Slowly, Ryan turned. She wasn't in a wheelchair. She stood before him. Sis, he cried, hugging her tightly. He felt like a child again, seeing his beloved sister. He didn't care about onlookers, his sobs loud, overjoyed she could stand and walk. Owen watched, hands cold, nervous but happy, Ryan reunited with Rachel. Over the years, Mrs. Beatrice wasn't stingy with Rachel. She gave her a chance at a better life, sending staff to take her to a hospital to treat her legs. Specialists helped her walk again. Rachel owed the woman immense gratitude, thinking that was the end. But Mrs. Beatrice opened doors to her dreams, enrolling her in a scholarship program for education. She graduated college and became a licensed teacher, her lifelong dream. Sis, forgive me for what I said. I shouldn't have said those things. I know you were thinking of my well-being, Ryan said, pulling back from the hug, ashamed. I understand. I'm sorry too for what I said. I didn't mean to hurt or anger you, but if I hadn't, you'd have struggled to choose, and you wouldn't have achieved what you have. I'm happy it led to your dreams coming true, Rachel said, teary but smiling. Ryan was overjoyed, not only for his rise but for Rachel's too. He thanked his grandmother for repaying Rachel's kindness, lifting both their lives from hardship. Inside Rachel's modest house, her first purchase with her own money, the three sat in the living room. Rachel brought juice for her and Ryan, coffee for Owen, and sandwiches with mayo or peanut butter, some on the crusty bread ends. Sorry, my house is small. I know you're used to big houses, Ryan, she teased. Sis, I haven't changed, just got taller, but not my character, Ryan said, turning to Owen. Right, Owen. Owen, fidgeting, avoided their eyes, blushing, wiping his forehead. Owen, you okay? Ryan asked. Maybe you're hot. I'll grab another fan, Rachel said, flustered. No, I'm fine, Owen said, grabbing her hand. They locked eyes, then quickly let go, both blushing, looking away shyly. You two okay? Ryan asked, sensing something. Spill it. Are you talking already? The two were startled, looking at Ryan. Owen, fess up. You knew her address already. We found her house so fast without apps, and you drove like you knew the place, Ryan said. Owen didn't answer. Ryan turned to Rachel. Sis, how'd you know Owen loves coffee and peanut butter? I noticed you set his snack apart, even his favorite bread part. The two stammered, faces red. Ryan laughed. I'm not mad, just asking, he said, grinning. Owen had fallen for Rachel through Ryan's stories. Unlike Ryan, too shy to face her, Owen, once recovered, sought her out. In America, he thanked her for raising his brother, checking in often. Their talks led to love, and now they'd finally met. Okay, Ryan said, after their confession. I'll head out, Owen. You two need your moment. You're not getting younger. I'm fine if you end up together. I'll be best man at your wedding, he teased. Wedding? We're not there yet, Rachel said. Sis, that's the end game, Ryan said, smiling. Their reunion ended Ryan's shame, allowing him to apologize, as did Rachel. It also opened a door to love between Owen and Rachel. The next day, Ryan, Nico, and Mia met at a fast food joint, reminiscing over childhood memories. Ryan, you're impossible to reach, Mia teased, eating spaghetti, but still so down to earth. Look at him. T-shirt, cargo shorts, slip-ons. Nico leaned in, whispering, even though he owns our old school, has a master's in education, is working on a doctorate, and is the grandson of a billionaire. Ryan laughed. Guys, I'm shy. This is all I've got since my suitcase got lost. I didn't want to buy new clothes. Anyway, how are you? He asked eagerly. As they ate and caught up, an unexpected figure spotted them. Look, the gang's back together, a man said. They turned to see Ethan. Hey, how's it going? Ryan greeted. Nico stayed silent and Mia glared. I'm good, just here for a snack. I've got my SUV outside. Meant to hit the drive-thru, but something told me to come in and I found you three, Ethan said, smug. Cool. Got a seat? Want to join us? Ryan offered, pointing to an empty chair. Thanks, but no, I've got meetings and clients. I'm busy, not like you, content eating fast food meals like this, Ethan said. The three were stunned by his attitude. Years hadn't changed him. It had worsened. You should aim higher so you're not stuck eating at places like this. But I'm glad you can at least afford it, especially you, Ryan, he said, eyeing Ryan head to toe. After getting caught cheating, you had no face to show. I bet you're still a loser. Mia trembled with anger, about to confront him, when Ryan spoke. I'm happy to see you, and I'm glad you're doing well, he said, smiling. Ethan, expecting Ryan to feel shame, felt it himself. To recover, he pulled out his wallet, tossing $300 on the table. Here, order something better. I know you're pinching pennies to eat here, he said, leaving. The three exchanged glances, looked at the money, then at each other. What was that? Nico said, laughing. Guess he was hungry, Ryan said. On Monday, furniture for the brothers' new homes arrived. After meeting Rachel, Owen proposed, buying a house near theirs. With too few movers, Ryan and Owen, in shorts and T-shirts, helped carry furniture. A car pulled up, and a sharply dressed man stepped out. Ethan, Ryan whispered. Owen overheard. You know him? Yes, he's... Ryan, we meet again, Ethan said, smirking. Yeah, Ryan said, wiping sweat. Ethan's judgmental stare showed disgust at Ryan's sweaty, laboring state. This is your job? Karma's harsh, he said, shaking his head. If you'd taken Mum's offer, you wouldn't be like this. But it's fine, Ryan. Being a mover's still honest work. He handed Ryan his card. Wait, do you have a phone? Maybe not. I do, Ryan said. Good. Call me. Maybe we've got an opening to help you out, Ethan said. Owen's eyes widened, shocked at Ethan's rudeness, which had ruined his brother's reputation. Ryan felt Owen's anger, squeezed his hand, and shook his head. I'll call. Don't worry. What's your visit about? Maybe I can help, Ryan offered. Thanks, but no, I'm just dropping off papers, Ethan said, opening a folder to read the new homeowner's name. Mr. Roniel Villarosa. I know him. Want me to call him inside? Ryan asked. Owen was puzzled but let Ryan proceed. Ryan went inside, returning in a coat, wiping sweat. Owen chuckled. Ethan's eyebrow rose, seeing Ryan in a coat. Ryan, I'm not joking. Where's Mr. Roniel? He said, annoyed. Ryan looked around. Is there another Roniel Villarosa? You? Ethan gasped. Yes, I'm Roniel Villarosa, Ryan said, showing his passport. No, that's not true, Ethan stammered, paling. He couldn't believe the person he'd mocked was his biggest client. Fate slapped him hard. His boasts backfired. Owen and Ryan laughed at his reaction. Ryan signed the folder as Ethan stood, stunned. Don't worry, the trophy, medal, and cash from the contest I should have won. Keep them. We both know the truth. I forgive you and your mom. Thank her, because I asked Grandma to let you stay in school, thinking you deserved another chance. But you haven't changed, Ryan said, shaking his head. Just one thing. If you belittle anyone I love again, you'll see. I'll return everything you did. Understand? He said, patting Ethan's shoulder. Ethan realized his mistakes, but it was too late. Life's like a wheel. You're not always on top. The world turns, and so does fate. Be a good person, child, sibling, friend, student, and citizen. You never know when those you mock might rise above, and you find yourself below. The end. This is Mr. Hope. Thank you all for watching. Blessings to you all.